News with Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
Oh, I got a rich man, poor man. Came up with it when I was on my rowing machine last night.
Is that the rich man, poor man?
Well,
Came up with an idea rowing?
We have rowing on
that's
there.
right.
Rowing machine versus rowing. Or crew versus the Yucatan. You
Right.
know. A local news crew wants to do a day in the life of you.
Oh, that's so good.
Because they
That's
do
a
those
good
features
one.
on like the homeless
Yes.
mom, and she gets up every morning and she panhandles, and then she makes her way off to and then they have this super successful guy. He's getting into his helicopter and going to work
The
now.
startup entrepreneur.
Right. Walking
Just
fast,
sold his app.
giving orders.
Yes, that's great.
Yes, that is. Matter of fact, if like somebody said like, what would you wish for your son? Local news follows around, and I'd be like, ooh, it could be the best thing ever. It could be the best thing ever, or it could be the fucking worst.
He's
thing.
trying to
It could be
kick
the
meth. He lives
worst.
under a bridge.
like it's tough, and they're about 50-50. They do about the same amount of
That's
those
right.
guys. But yeah, the
That's a
tech
good one.
guys he's taking this whole old commercial, this old industrial plant turned into a high-tech workspace.
Yeah,
You know,
everybody scooters around.
Right.
Someone tweeted me a great one, and I'm sorry I don't have the name in front of me, but it pertains to wine country. We were just talking about wineries and all that. Rich man, poor man goes to wine country during harvest season.
Oh yeah,
Because that's very expensive if you want to go
working,
during
you're drinking.
harvest or you're working it.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good point. Although I'm not smart enough to know why harvest is good if you're drinking stuff that's 4 years old.
No,
or
I think
whatever.
you're only there, I think, just to experience like them smashing the grapes.
Oh,
or, like,
okay.
it's
Yeah,
just-
that's good.
ambiance.
That's good.
That's funny. All right, let's get to our coronavirus roundup, shall we? New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announced more measures, including a statewide mandate that no business can have more than 50% of their workers report to work from outside their home. Donald Trump announced that the U.S. is closing the border with Canada to non-essential traffic. Target announced, and everybody's fallen in line with this, and I am so glad to hear it. Target announced it'll close by 9 p.m. every night to allow for more cleaning, and also to open to customers who are elderly and vulnerable early in the morning. They're actually going to do that on Wednesdays. Whole Foods reserving the first hour of shopping.
Christy's mom did that today.
God, you lucky bastard.
Are they looking for ID?
Yes, you do have to show an ID.
Oh, really?
At least at the stores so far at Vallarta and Northgate. But it's also...
I bet if you just bring a cane and scream, "Get off of my lark! That's my lark!" and you start shaking it around,
Yeah,
they'll
that's
probably
a-
just
Kids these days.
yelling at a cloud.
Yeah, you'd be grandfathered in, pardon the pun.
Also, some of these places do disabled people and pregnant women, but definitely check beforehand so you're not waiting around. Kansas is the first state to announce that schools will remain closed for in-person teaching for the rest of the year. Department stores,
Both
Macy's.
my kids have already started smoking, and
Yeah.
the boy has a problem with alcohol already.
That's cool.
It's
Been
been
2
4
days,
days.
yeah.
So he's fucking. They've called it
course.
quits on life.
Department-
the
yeah.
school, whatever the homeschooling thing that's
Good.
going on.
Out the
it's like-
window.
I talked to my son this morning, like 9:30. I'm like, when's school start? Oh, we're done. I'm done with the first batch. I'm like, what is really going on? But again, the tacit agreement. What
None of us
teacher,
want
what
this.
adult in your right mind would want to just sit
Yeah.
in your apartment staring at a
Monitoring.
computer, monitoring kids for like, we're getting a full 8 hours in. If school started at 8:05, then we shall start at 8:05.
Yeah.
And that bell rings at 3:06, and that's when it is. Like, neither group wants to do this. Now, they want to get paid, and the kids want to go out and do whatever they want to do. So we've worked it out.
Yeah, that's right.
It's light lifting, evidently.
Department stores Macy's, Nordstrom, Bloomingdale, Saks all announced they're closing their stores for 2 weeks. Online will remain open. Carpools no longer available for Uber and Lyft because you can't socially distance in a car. Residents of Venice, Italy say for the first time, this is great. It almost sounds like an Onion article. For the first time in their lifetime, the canals are crystal clear.
Yeah, I've heard
They're
that too.
crystal clear. Thanks to the quarantine's severe drop in tourism, gondoliers on hiatus, that polluted water is really clearing up.
Here's what I'm imagining. Because they're not third world. Like, they don't have the sewer system dumping into account. I'm guessing it's constantly beaten up, shaken up. Snow globe.
Right.
I mean, there's silt or something, and it's constantly being roughed out and shaken like a snow globe, and it finally got a chance
Settled,
settle in
Right.
versus sewage.
Yeah, it must be.
Guessing.
Have either of you been? Have you been?
No.
I have, yes.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Would you like to know?
So sometimes, and not like this anymore, but when I was younger, I used to have this fear that I would just suddenly have an impulse control problem. And that really came into effect.
Pop the top off and
Or like someone's performing on stage and like being a little kid and having OCD and being all fucked up, being like, what if I just ran on stage? What if I can't stop myself? And that's what I'd think for 2 hours during a musical. So being in Italy going, what if I just jumped into the canal? What if I couldn't stop myself? And that was literally one of my biggest takeaways from Italy. Wish it wasn't.
great memories.
I think I saw a James Bond movie.
Casino Royale.
And What's Phil Eating or something where Phil Rosenthal went there. So I'm an expert.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
all.
oh, good.
all I
That's all
need to
you
know.
need. Yeah.
You went too?
I
you
did.
go?
Well, I saw Casino Royale, so I feel like I've been.
It's the same thing. It's beautiful. Coronavirus now spread to all 50 states. California schools may not open for the rest of the year. Orange County, California, closed bars, restaurants, banned gatherings of any size after there are 29 confirmed
I'm trying to
cases.
think of like Los Angeles. I think the average student, reads at a third grade level who's like in the 10th grade or does math, standard math. Some of these cities, the math scores are like,
No bueno.
They do these things where like there's parts of the inner city of Chicago where they have 0% proficiency at the math grade level or whatever. Are we going to get to the point where someone goes, what grade level's your son doing math on? And we go, minus third grade. What does that mean? It means if he scores higher, he'll get up to kindergarten. He owes
preschool
math
level
now.
He can recognize numbers.
Yeah, like we can't get much lower. We're getting toward the bottom of everything.
He can do addition, but you have to give him the blocks so he can see it.
That's right.
White House has a plan to offer Americans cash payments as part of a stimulus package. This is like the Yang Gang, like $1,000 to every person. Governor of Nevada ordered all casinos and restaurants closed for 30 days. Tax deadline is extended by 90 days by the IRS. So I think for California, I got to look this up. I think California state is mid-June, federal is mid-July. Awesome. And I think you have to file, but you don't have to pay. So definitely Google that. Make sure I didn't get that backwards, but I think that's what it is. Kevin Durant and 3 others on the Brooklyn Nets have tested positive for coronavirus. Only one is showing symptoms.
The weird thing about Durant, he's not playing. He's not showering. He's not, you know what I mean? Like he's not holding the same ball. All that stuff.
Is he not active?
I'm pretty sure, right? You see,
right. Well, I mean, he's been practicing, but he's not. He's been shooting around.
Is he injured or?
Yeah.
He tore his Achilles,
tore
in the finals last year.
Last season.
Oh, was that
season.
last year? He
It
did
was,
that
with the
Yeah,
Warriors.
in the finals.
Wow, I felt like a time machine. I feel like that was 2 or 3 seasons ago. He was with
The Warriors.
It was in Game 7 or 6 or 7.
Wait,
or what
didn't
it
he
was.
injure himself before that?
He injured himself before that, and then he came back in the finals, and then he really injured himself.
Oh, yeah. That was just last year. I thought the Warriors had dropped off or something. What?
This year they're like in second to last place because Steph Curry had a broken hand and.
But were they that? They're that good last year?
I think it was Klay Thompson that injured himself at Game 7. Was it? I think Durant injured himself somewhere in the finals, though.
Well, anyway.
Anyway,
it was just
If
last
only there was a
year.
way to look this
Yes.
up.
All right.
Idris Elba hinted that he caught coronavirus from Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's wife. Today Show co-host.
Cuckolded, Trudeau.
Wow, that's some Tupac shit. Fucking threw down.
Savannah Guthrie not feeling so great, so she's home. Hoda Kotb's in studio at the Today Show. Emma Stone called off her wedding. That's supposed to be this weekend in L.A. AMC, Cinemark closing down their theaters for a couple of weeks. I do have a Hanks update, but it's not much. He and Rita are under quarantine at home in Australia at a home as they continue to get over the virus. And Hank says he's just not feeling that great. The Hollywood couple was sent home after 5 days in the hospital. Hanks updated everyone on Twitter saying, "Hey folks, good news. 1 week after testing positive in self-isolation, symptoms are much the same. No fever, but the blahs." He also provided a glimpse into their life. He said folding the laundry and doing dishes leads to a nap on the couch. Talk about how they're playing gin rummy and how he brought his old typewriter that he's messing around with. So just kind of like, I guess getting over a bad cold or whatever.
I imagine being quarantined would lead to just a general lethargy anyway.
Malaise.
You'd be like, I don't have energy today. Like, I feel like if you're trapped somewhere, it's going to kick in. His son, is it not Colin, but what's the other one?
Chet.
Chet. It's funny. So I saw another Chet update, Max Zapata. And this time he's layered. He's like wearing a long sleeve shirt and a jacket and a dickie or something. And then the last time I saw him, he was shirtless.
His range.
Utterly. And I thought, I wonder if he got a bunch of shit for being shirtless. So I went, well, for my next vlog, I'm going to layer on
shirts on shirts.
The outdoors. Yeah, like he was wearing, he went from no clothes to sort of extra clothes. Someone's just got to get the guy a V-neck and we can call it a day. Right.
The things you have thoughts on.
I was like, he delivered his second one and he was
in a parka.
It was just like he was wearing a lot for a guy who was wearing nothing the time before. I don't know what inspired him to go shirtless. I may know what inspired him to layer on the second one. But anyway.
Okay.
All right.
We'll look into it. So it's pretty hard not to know what's going on around here these days. You have to really avoid a lot of information. And guess who did that beautifully, successfully, like a champion? Jared Leto. Had no idea any of this was going on. In an Instagram post early Tuesday morning, this is from last week, Leto wrote, "Wow, 12 days ago I began a silent meditation in the desert. We were totally isolated, no phone, no communication, etc. We had no idea what was happening outside the facility. Walked out yesterday into a very different world, one that's been changed forever. Mind-blowing, to say the least." But he's plugged in now. He gets it. He says, "I'm getting messages from friends and family all around the globe, catching up on what's going on. Hope you and yours are okay. Sending positive energy to all. Stay safe, stay inside." And I didn't ask for this picture, or maybe I did. I don't know if you have it. But the last time Jared Leto was in the news, wasn't he kind of dressed like a cult leader with people like sitting at his feet? So he's doing these.
He goes between this kind of weird androgynous stuff,
Yeah.
and then he dips into the cult leader.
Yeah, so that's why he perhaps was off the grid for the most essential 12 weeks in the last however many years. And no clue. Must be nice. I'm jealous.
I'd like to start one of these meditation camps, because I'd like charge celebrities. Like it's $9,000, but it's life changing.
What do you get?
You just show up and you sit quietly.
Good, because I have a lot to talk about. I'd love to talk about my feelings. There's a lot about.
Look, first off, we don't have outside distractions. So we don't have cable. We don't have satellite.
Okay, but there's group therapy, right? There's talk there. Because I got a lot to say.
Well, did you pay me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here.
Then just come in and we don't validate parking, by the way, because that sort of flies in the face of our mantra. But we just sit over there. I pitch you a tent on the lawn. You sit there silently for 12 days.
12 days?
There'll be a share
give or
circle,
take, or actually 12 nights, 13 days. No, we don't. But we will bring in some. I went to Costco. I got some generic jerky, and they look like Triscuits. I think they call them Tiscuits or something like that. Anyway, as much hose water as you need. But again, we've spoken too much already.
Okay. And
the jacuzzi works, but that's for me. Okay, so I'll be heating that up. That's not. We're here to just connect with nature.
It kind of sends the wrong message right there within sight of all of us. Man. It's like
again, life is full of distractions.
This is a challenge.
So you hearing me have sex and count money in a jacuzzi near to where you're trying to. Well, that's a good point.
Is sex
Did you pay, by the way?
I Venmo'd you.
Okay,
full.
good.
It was weird to pay full front.
We probably said too much.
Optional or required?
I'm having sex. You guys taking a vow of celibacy.
Oh. Okay.
Or is it celibate?
I think it's celibacy.
All right. Shh. Said enough. You guys paid up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
In full.
You got your generic Triscuits over there, and there's your 10 stars. Now, if you have to use the bathroom, that's what the shovel's for.
If I have to leave early, do I get a refund? Do we prorate it?
Not of your money.
Oh,
is that what you're asking?
Yeah, because if I can only stay like 6 days, do I get?
If you want to give up on the quest, that'll be up to you.
No, I don't want to give up on the quest, but I might be called a set. Okay, sorry.
I think we've already spoke too much. Okay. I'm going to be in the jacuzzi. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be having sex with one of the early, I don't know, we call her dropouts, not fair, but she didn't make it the full 12 days. She was a nice-looking actress. I'll be eating Ritz and Triscuits as you know them, and I'll be, again, it's just a slight spelling thing. You can taste it a little bit. Anyway, the point is said too much. I'll be in the jacuzzi. I'll be over here. Everyone's paid up. Again, if you want cable, if you want movies on demand, if you want 4-course meals, you've come to the wrong place. I'm asking you to check all that at the door. You understand?
I just want to have a heart-to-heart with somebody where I really get my feelings out and talk.
Do you have money on you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Why don't you give me some of that?
Okay.
Because I don't want you to be...
At the risk of speaking too much, like you suggest, you can't have sex in there all the time. When you're not having sex, can we have sex in there?
Jacuzzi?
Yeah, can we have sex in there
Oh,
when you're
you'd
not?
be surprised.
Oh.
And not with the same person, obviously. I had a couple other, I don't know, flunky. I don't know what's up, dropouts.
Yeah.
Few that didn't make
Human
the cut.
beings.
Yeah. It's all right. These are
Lost
B-list
souls.
actresses. Yeah, they're hanging out. They're in the main house. We got heating and air in there.
You have a house?
There's a house?
That's in the main house. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's what that large structure is that has smoke coming out of the chimney?
Yeah.
It smells like
Yeah,
muffins?
it's cozy. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, we're watching first-run
I
movies
thought that was the
over there.
neighbor's place.
Oh, no. We're making popcorn balls.
So we all camp out in there with you then?
No, you're trying to... Shh.
Oh, we do. I understand. We do the meditation in the tents and then sleep in the house.
That
Sleep in
makes
the
a lot
tents.
more
That's
sense.
right.
We sleep
Did I
inside.
give you guys the shovel news?
Oh, what was about? Oh, we are digging a garden?
If you got to make... you can use the shovel. Make sure and hose off the shovel.
That's got to be a 3-bathroom house in there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 3 on top of each other, like in consecutive floors. Yeah. Yeah, okay. But look, no work is getting done in that house other than popcorn balls and blowjobs. You guys are doing the real work out here. You understand? And after your 12-night fleece or cleanse, after the 12-night cleanse, you'll be ready for the real world.
Okay.
We've spoken enough.
Okay.
This is all.
I guess it all makes sense in a week, 2 weeks, basically.
Shouldn't we be being paid for this since we're doing
I was
all the
going
work?
to say, we're actually digging holes.
Well, that's just to defecate in. That's not, I'm not a maniac. And scene. You have a picture of Chet Hanks ready?
Yeah, so we'll just put up his Instagram. So the one in
Oh,
the middle is the
range.
one that everybody saw where he's talking about how his parents are doing. And then if you look at the other one above it, this is...
Really layered.
Next installment, he's wearing a cap. He's got a fleece
winter coat.
thing
Looks
on.
like
He's got a
Bane.
fur collar up. He's got he's got a half a dicky turtleneck on. I mean, he went from nothing to a lot. That's all I'm saying.
You think he and Colin are close?
Here's what I think. The old school, all right, when you say like this thing of like unconditional love, it's a modern thought. My kids could do things that would make me not love them. If they stab somebody, kill somebody, they were horrible people. I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't vehemently protect them or anything. I'd just be like, you made bad decisions and you've hurt somebody and you're a bad person. So the unconditional part is a relatively new thought, I think. Otherwise, it'd be hard to send your kids off to World War II and stuff like that. Think of how much I have 3 sons and they're all going off to do battle. Like, that'd be difficult to do if you had this thing. I mean, I'm sure that mother loved their kids, but my take is guys like Hanks have a work ethic and have a certain character that we always come back to. He seems like a very high character person. And I think when he sees people engage in low character behavior, at least in his estimation, it probably hurts their relationship. Like, I don't know. Or maybe this is just cathartic. But what I'm saying is like, I have people that I like and I have friends that I like, but I don't just sort of like them for the sake of liking them. I see how
You like them for a reason.
how they work and how they interact and like what they do. And then so it's like
Sum of all totals.
if you spend any time or did, when we were younger or now with a guy like Jimmy Kimmel, you'll just see this real high character thing coming through. Like, okay, come on, we got to do the right thing.
Right.
We got to go do this. Everything's like kind of have to do the right thing. Even if no one's looking, we still have to do this thing the right way, And I guess... And then we all have those friends that are kind of doing their shit on the side. Sometimes it's like cheating on their wife or doing something that's borderline illegal, like I'm collecting unemployment, but I'm still working. I'm just getting paid on it, like these kind of things. Right. And they do enough of those things, you start to build a sort of composite of them, and then you don't like them that much. Like, and even if they were your old friend or even if they're blood, we've all had not all, but many have had like the ne'er-do-well brother or sister. Like, talk to any real successful person about their brother who's always wanting to borrow money and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, they don't really like that person that much. And I don't know anything about Chet, but I would say that Tom Hanks is probably one of those guys that has the rules and they all apply to him first and foremost. And if you're one of those persons that wants to cut corners and take it easy and all that kind of stuff, you
got less time.
Probably have not a great relationship with them.
Gina asked about specifically the relationship between Chet and Colin. I don't claim to know, but when Colin did come in here, I do remember specifically, I think it might have been Gary at the time, gave us a last-minute instruction upon him entering the studio. So whispered, "No questions about Chet."
Right.
Yeah, all right. Good to know.
And so Colin not only sort of takes after Tom, but he physically looks like him too.
Didn't he play Fred Rogers in Drunk History?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think so.
That's us sitting here from a few years ago.
They are carbon copies.
They are.
Unbelievable. Did you hear there was a giant earthquake in Utah? As we record this, it was this morning. Magnitude 5.7 shook up Salt Lake City Wednesday morning, rattling homes and businesses.
Chris is worried about the arch. Did the arch survive?
Oh, God.
Chris wrote that
capsize.
down. He's self-deprecating. Yeah.
The quake.
Were the people in the arch? Because that must have been horrifying.
Yeah, you can go up the arch, which was the state's largest since 1992. It rattled homes and businesses, most notably the Salt Lake City airport, knocked out of operation, along with the state's coronavirus hotline. Like, insult to injury, let the phone work. Epicenter was located in Magna, Utah, just west of Salt Lake City. Several aftershocks have been felt.
Trying to think, 5.5 by LA standards is not bad, but by Utah standards, pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it knocks your airport out, knocks your hotline out.
It's kind of weird that a 5.5 would knock your hotline out.
I don't have any details on that.
It's not like something was physically cut or anything.
The pole fell over.
I don't know.
The arch fell over. It caused a lot of damage.
It's the pole.
It just caused a lot of damage.
I don't like. Here's what my take on everything now is like the hotline didn't get knocked out. It's just there was a flood of calls about the earthquake and it got overburned or whatever. It's probably more like that.
So Andrew Gillum.
Old
buddy Andrew Gillum, former mayor of Tallahassee, Florida.
Winner on the leaderboard in the winners of the Corona.
That's right.
Sweepstakes.
That's exactly why I'm bringing it up. Narrowly lost the race for governor in 2018. He's entering rehab to treat his alcoholism after police found him drunk inside a Miami hotel room with a man who allegedly overdosed on crystal meth. The 40-year-old, who's also an occasional contributor for CNN, says, quote, "After conversations with my family and deep reflection, I've made the decision to seek help, guidance, and enter a rehabilitation facility at this time."
I wonder what that conversation sounds. Is he married?
He's married. He has 3 children. There's been a wake-up call.
Was the guy in his room a gay porn escort or star and escort? I'm guessing if you're a gay porn star, you do a little escort work on the side.
Yeah, I've seen both.
How does that? You're seeing both?
Like the common escort.
He calls.
I thought you were talking about you. You've done escort and some film work. Right. So, is there a chance that you're hanging with that dude just because you're hanging with that dude?
Or social?
Does that mean? Well,
that's a 75.
I feel like trying to think. I could party with a gay porn star and not have it take a turn for the sexual, although
you're open-minded.
Probably less likely, but
on enough crystal meth, though.
Right. What was the deal? I mean, do they think he's gay or bi or something? I mean, did he meet the dude at a wedding? I think like downstairs of the hotel. I don't know. That was the story I heard.
You've been watching too much TMZ.
Yeah.
I do watch it. They're on a skeleton crew, man. That room is not full up.
Oh yeah, I bet. 6 feet apart.
I heard that the gay escort was like at a wedding in the like lobby of the hotel, and then they went up to the room.
Convenient.
With some crystal meth, and that's about as much as I know. But I don't know if that makes him gay or bi.
Yeah, the reports is that you're right. You can't assume, but the reports was that this man was a gay escort. What they were doing, not public as far as I know. He does have 3 children. He is married. He's spoken publicly about his own father's struggles with alcoholism, and it's mea culpa time.
All right. Well, hope he gets better. But and again, he'll be out. No one will remember any of this happen. It's all going to be Corona.
That's right. I thought this was going to be a big story, but you guys you obviously already know it, and you have more details than I do. Isn't it kind of a big deal that Tom Brady's leaving the Patriots and going to Tampa Bay?
Yeah, it's all just in the Corona sphere, and nothing.
I thought this was going to be a much bigger deal.
Oh, well, I was thinking about it as I was watching him win the Super Bowl against Atlanta, and sort of also seeing Jimmy Garoppolo on the sideline jumping up and down. And I was like, oh yeah, he does have he's got a ring, just not with the team.
Indeed.
Brian wishes he had a ring with. You forget about all these guys who have a ring who you don't know were on the sideline. Jim McMahon has another ring, I think, when he was on, oh, God, or I'm screwing that up. But one of those guys, like Jim McMahon, was like a backup
Randall
on it.
Cunningham?
I think it was Jim McMahon who was on another team that you didn't even know he was on when they won the Super Bowl, and he's got another ring. But here's what I was thinking about, Gina, for you.
Yeah.
Everyone does the Tom Brady heartthrob. Then you get Garoppolo, and he's a heartthrob. And now they're both heartthrobs. And you go, wow, they're running a lot of heartthrobs over there in New England. Drew Bledsoe was a heartthrob. That was a good-looking man.
Drew Bledsoe's a handsome man.
The man
Tom
Brady replaced. He was tall and angular and like a long and lean.
He was a traditionally handsome dude.
He was a good-looking, tall, lean guy back in his day. So maybe
I'll be the judge.
In the theory, in my theory of sort of hiring the good-looking quarterback, not only provided they can sling the ball a little, you get all this ancillary stuff.
Absolutely.
They're the ones who make the covers and are all over, and they're wearing your uniform.
Like jersey.
You hire that good-looking
looks like a movie star
person. Yeah,
and that's his retirement probably.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's a tall, slender, like good-looking,
a prime Drew Bledsoe.
Good-looking dude. Especially in a league where some of the quarterbacks are a little tougher on the eyes. It's good. It was good looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Gillum was at a wedding, so I say. All right.
Sorry. So $30 million a year is the contract, apparently.
How official is this?
So this all happened in one day. So this was Tuesday. He wrote that Instagram post or whatever, saying I'm leaving and lots of love to you. I have it here somewhere. And to all my teammates, coaches, executives, and staff, Coach Belichick, blah, blah, the whole list. I want to say thank you for the past 20 years of my life and the daily commitment to winning and creating a winning culture built on great values. I'm grateful that all of you okay. So we're just going to skip ahead.
It just felt like it was a little bit of a negotiating ploy.
Well, that was the thing. So as the day progressed, you'd think maybe this was a leverage issue. Yeah. And as the day progressed, you're like, why are we hearing about the Buccaneers specifically? Mm-hmm. And now the report is he has an agreement in place to join Tampa Bay in a deal that will reportedly pay him $30 million.
But I want to see it.
Tampa Bay... what's his name?
Jameis Winston.
Jameis. I always screw that up. Jameis Winston. It's like cigarettes and booze or something. I would keep picking some. But the point is this. That guy had, I think, the most touchdowns in the league last year and the most picks.
Yeah.
Like, he did play really well at times. I mean, he put up big numbers.
He did.
And he also put up huge pick numbers, and I think he led in maybe 2 categories, or maybe second overall yardage.
He had
or something.
A huge number of yards too,
but he's throwing picks.
He's throwing a ton of picks. That was the thing. Jameis was good for 2 touchdowns and 2 picks a game,
right?
For a certain point.
If you're just casually watching, is a better game because there's tons of balls being spread around. But Brady, what is this? I don't know.
Well, you'd think that between him and Belichick and Kraft, those are that's family. This must have really been a huge payment discrepancy.
I think Brady probably should have just retired, right?
It might be a smart move in retrospect.
Because there's always
if there's a
injuries
season.
too, I mean, there's injuries too that you can feel for a long period of time after you retire. I don't know. Anyway.
And also Brady and Winston had the same QB rating last season. Exact same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Same rating. Wow. So 5,100 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 30 picks.
Was that a record?
Yes.
Well, it was?
I do believe it's a record. Also, they didn't throw that much back in the 70s. You think, like, you see these games where, like, you go, Terry Bradshaw, but he went 12 for 17 in the Super Bowl or something like that. They did not sling it like they sling it now.
I think, we're going to look this up, so I got a lot to look up. I think Joe Namath, famously was the Super Bowl III MVP.
Right.
I think it's something like 167 yards and, no touchdowns.
Yeah, they just didn't throw it around that much back then. All right, what else? One more.
All right. Hyundai and its luxury brand Genesis are offering to cover new buyers' car payments for up to 6 months in the event they lose their job.
Oh, they're launching a new car. Genesis is, like their SUV.
In the wake of the economic disruption caused by this outbreak. This is according to Fox News.
I spoke too soon. He's tied for 7th. Who threw more than 30 picks? There's 6 guys who threw more than 30 picks?
Yeah, so George Blanda in 62 threw 42 picks.
Wow.
Vinny Testaverde in 88 threw 35 picks. Frank Tripucka, 34.
34 picks in 1941 or whatever.
1960.
Wow. God, he's throwing a lot of picks back then. John Hadel for the Chargers threw 32 in 68. John Hadel became a Ram at some wait a minute, Sir Francis of Talkington? He threw 32 in Minnesota. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Sid Luckman. Boy, it's the worst point I've ever made. 1947 through 31 picks.
Chris, that's some good point shitting.
The season was like 10 games. I mean, that is short. In 1947, they must play.
Gale Sayers ran for 1,500 yards.
He wasn't even born. They were
47.
Yeah, Sid Luckman threw 31 picks in 12 games, or like 10 or 12 games.
Well, they didn't throw that much. You're right.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
How's that possible?
Kenny the Snake.
Kenny the Snake Stabler.
All right, now look up Joe Namath's line from Super Bowl III.
How do you throw? You average, like, literally you average 2.7 picks a game for the entire season?
That's crazy.
Because they played 12, maybe 14.
And they'd keep you a quarterback?
12 games a season when Sid Luckman was playing. Maybe they thought with a name like Luckman, like, it's got to change.
Kick in at some point.
His fortune has to change. This team's going with him. Well, lucky. Wait, you throw 31. You have a 12-game season. Sid Luckman,
36 would be 3 a game,
right? Who would be in the who may be a Hall of Famer. Sid Luckman is averaging almost 3 picks a game for the entire season in. So, by the way, it wasn't 3. Probably had one game with 1 pick, and then whether it's 11 picks. Well, it couldn't just be 3. He had to have a good game where he threw 2 picks, and then he did that for 4 games in a row, and then he threw 9 picks.
All right, man, the game ball goes to Sid. Only threw 2 interceptions today.
Right.
Luckman inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 65.
Wow.
Different
time.
How is it mathematically possible in a game where you average 14 passes a game through the season, in a 12-game season, to throw 2.7 picks every single game? That's a weird one. All right. See if you can suss out. We're going to look up Joe Namath. Sorry, one more, Gina. Grant.
All right. So if you have your sights set on a Hyundai or a Genesis, now may be the time. So the Assurance Job Loss Protection Program is a modified reboot of one of the automakers, one that they basically did the 2009 financial crisis, allowed customers to return their vehicles if they've involuntarily lost their jobs. The new program applies to purchases and leases made between March 14th to April 30th at Hyundai and Genesis dealers that are financed through Hyundai Capital or Genesis Capital. Currently applies to job losses incurred through December 31st. In addition to the payment forgiveness, buyers of the Hyundai Santa Fe, the Tucson, the Elantra GT, Kona, Venue, and Accent during the same period can have their payments deferred for 90 days if they financed at 0%.
Well, it's nice. Everyone's trying to get involved, and I think Genesis is doing good product now.
Indeed,
everyone's
they're really nice cars.
Stepping up their game.
Everyone is good. All right, let's Luckman, 1947. What did he? Did you find out how many attempts he averaged a game in a 12-game season?